Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a video that you guys have been asking for a while. So many of you have asked me to do gerbil care, and I don't know why it has taken me this long to get to it, but today I am finally going to do gerbil care. So as you guys know, I have two gerbils and their names are Vermin and Pest. A lot of people get really offended that my gerbil's name is Vermin, and it's kind of been an inside joke between me and my husband since we got him. We adopted Vermin from a high kill shelter that mostly just takes in dogs and cats. And I don't remember exactly why we were there, but we went in and my husband saw the gerbil and he pointed it out and he was like, hey, we should take it home. And so we let them know that we wanted to take him home, and they said, really, are you sure? Like, he's really mean. And we're like, yeah, of course, we'll take him, doesn't matter. And so this guy goes in to get him out of this cage that they had him in, and it was actually a really big cage. I don't know how he didn't escape from it. And he goes in with these big giant gloves that are for catching feral cats. And he's trying to catch him, and I guess they were just really afraid that he would bite them. But these gloves were so big that every time he kept trying to grab him, the gerbil just ran out from underneath and he could not actually get him. So finally my husband's like, can I just go in and grab him? And so we eventually got him and, took him home. And the reason that we named him Vermin is just because of their complete misconception of this animal. We've had him for quite a few years now and he has never bitten anyone. And I feel bad that these people were so afraid of him, but the reactions were also kind of funny. So we just decided to stick with that name. And we went and got him a friend because, of course, gerbils should never be alone, and just named him Pest to go along with it. And we recently introduced 3 other gerbils to Vermin and Pest. Usually you don't want to go with an odd number group, but we are finding that this is working out for us. However, I do suggest that if you want to introduce more gerbils to each other, that they should be an even number, like 1 and 1 and 2 and 2. Gerbils typically live for about 6 years, and we have had Vermin for a while, so I do think that he is probably an old gerbil by now. So if you have decided that you want to get a pet gerbil, make sure that you get 2, at least 2. And if you cannot get 2 gerbils, then get a different pet. You shouldn't get gerbils if you can't get 2. If you can only get 1 pet, you should get something like a hamster that wants to live alone. Gerbils are highly social and they should never be kept alone. So if you get females, make sure that you just get 2 females. It is harder to have a group of females than it is to have a group of males. If you get males, you can get 2 or you can get 4. Larger groups like 4 usually do work out pretty well. And like I had just mentioned, it is easier to get gerbils in even number groups. If it's an odd number, there is more chances of them fighting. And when you get your gerbils, you should try to get litter mates, gerbils that are already together, and then that way there is less chances of them fighting later on. Do not keep males and females in the same cage. They will breed even if they are from the same litter. If your gerbils do not get along, they still need to be kept in pairs in the same cage, and you'll want to put a divider inside your tank so that one animal gets that side and one animal gets this side, and they're still able to see each other and interact. So never keep a gerbil completely isolated. One of my favorite things about gerbils is that they have a very small odor. So unlike most rodents that have a pretty strong odor, I feel that gerbils have the least odor. So when you're picking out a cage, the best types of cages to get is going to be tanks like this. Other cages that are made for gerbils a lot of times have plastic parts in them, and you don't want anything plastic inside your gerbil's cage or for it to be made out of plastic, because they do chew plastic, they can chew through it, they can also ingest it, and that will cause impaction and they will die from that. And since they do chew on everything, I do not like cages with metal bars for them because they do chew on the bars. So the minimum size cage for 2 gerbils would be a 10-gallon tank. That is the standard. However, I do think that that is too small for gerbils, and really a 20-gallon tank is needed for a pair. This is my tank that is usually actually in the background of a lot of the videos that I do. You can see part of it in those videos. And this is a 40-inch long tank. I'm not exactly sure how many gallons it is, but it is a pretty large tank for gerbils. You can also get tank toppers for gerbils to go on top of the tank so that they can have more area to climb in. And these work if you do have a small space that you're working with, but I suggest going with a larger tank tank instead of a tank topper. Things that you need inside of the tank for them is going to be a water bottle, and then you're also going to want to have a food bowl for them, but remember, nothing plastic. So if it's a ceramic one, that is better. And wood houses are great for them because they can chew on this and it's not going to hurt them. And then you also want to have a wheel for them. Gerbils love their wheel. I had just one wheel when I had 2 gerbils, but now that there are 5 gerbils in there, I went ahead and put another wheel in there, so there's 2 in there for them now. And there are a lot of toys that you can provide for them that are actually not expensive, such as paper towel rolls. Once you're just done using those, you can put it in there for them as chewing toys. You can also get PVC pipes for them to run in and play in, and then you can also get untreated branches and things like that for them to chew on. And you also want to be able to provide them with dust baths. The bowl that is inside this tank is actually pretty popular to use for them because they're able to get in there, use it, and get out without putting all of the sand all over the cage. So it's something that you can actually leave inside of the cage. But if you do notice them sleeping in their sand bowl, you will need to remove it because that can cause respiratory issues for them. I've actually never seen mine sleeping in their sand bowl, so it hasn't been an issue for me. And I'll give you a quick tour of their cage so that you can see the items that I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to take a look at my gerbil cage, and just remember that you do want to have a lid on your gerbil cage because they can jump, and if something is too close to the top, they will jump out. We'll start over here on this side. This is an area that I have filled with hay, and that is why I have that little fence right there to keep it separated from the rest of the bedding. This hay is tightly packed and they're able to burrow in it and dig nests and sleep in there, but they're also able to climb out of it. So it's just really important to pack it very well if you do want to make an area that's higher up than the rest of their cage. And then right here is their house, and they sleep in there sometimes. This is the dust bath that I was talking about. They're able to get in there all by themselves and use it, and then see, they're able to get out very easily. And it's pretty inexpensive to buy, and you don't have to take it out. You can just leave it in the cage. And then right there is a PVC pipe tunnel. They can go in through here, and then they can run through this all the way over to the other end of the cage and then come out there where vermin is coming out. This is a log that I usually put their food on top of, and there is an area underneath the log in which they can hide in. And there are 2 wheels over here on this side. My Gerbil's diet is pretty similar to my rat's diet. They get a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables every day. The difference is that I give my gerbils a lot more seeds than I would give my rats. For the most part, you'll see that people with gerbils give them a lot of dry mixes and then give them fruits and vegetables as treats. However, my diet for them is completely different. I don't ever provide them with packaged gerbil food unless, of course, I might be going out of town and I want to make the care requirements for whoever's taking care of them a little bit simpler. But pretty much the rest of the time, they're always going to get fruits and vegetables as their main meal, which you can see in my evening pet routine in case you want to watch that. So they get a huge variety of vegetables and a few pieces of fruit, and I also provide them with a lot of the seeds that I have for my parrots and birds. Things that I do avoid feeding them is iceberg lettuce, onions, mushrooms, and garlic, and they don't get any meat or dairy products. Gerbils are some of my favorite rodents for a couple of reasons. They have a longer lifespan than rats. They're pretty small, so their cage requirements are easier to meet. I find them to be a lot friendlier than hamsters, and they have very, very little odor. So if you enjoyed seeing the gerbils in today's video, be sure to give this a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more animal videos. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for watching. Guinea pigs are herd animals. They are very social animals, so you can't have just one. You have to get at least 2. Guinea pigs are happy in pairs, and they're also happy in large groups as well. You'll want to either get 2 males or 2 females because they do breed very quickly.